All right, the snow has impacted our schedule a little bit this week, but I wanted to go over some of the practice pages, grammar pages, and spelling pages that I've assigned to you. First things first, in your practice book, and again, we're going to go over all this in class tomorrow, but just as you're working on it, I want to make sure you're okay with it. First of all, in your practice book, the first page I want to look at is 187. That's homographs. Homographs, homo means same, graph means writing. Same writing, different meanings, sometimes even different pronunciations. At the top of the page, they've put the homograph in bold. What I want you to do is write a new sentence using the other meaning of the word. There should be another meaning that we all know. At the bottom, they give you both pairs, and what I need you to do is write a brief definition for each of the words. Put them in order so we know that you understand. Okay? On page 188, again, this is Greek and Latin prefixes, kind of like our spelling list. First of all, at the top, you sort. At the bottom, however, what I want you to do is identify the prefix in the sentence and tell what it means. So you would look at the first one at the bottom and you'd see submarine. So you would identify submarine, and you would say that sub means beneath or under the marine life, under the water. Okay? All right. Moving on. Let's see here. Page 190, that's usually pretty straightforward. Again, we'll go over that, but we're talking about the point of view. We want to know what Ms. Hernandez is thinking here. Into the grammar, that this is where I really kind of want to go over some things with you. So you know what a pronoun are, and we've talked about subject pronouns and object pronouns, largely being where they take place in the sentence. We're going to introduce two new things for you today, though, a reflexive pronoun and an intensive pronoun. A reflexive pronoun is an object that is the same as the subject of the sentence. Myself, yourself, himself, herself. An intensive pronoun just emphasizes the antecedent, which is the word the pronoun replaces. It emphasizes the antecedent, but it doesn't act as the object. Okay, so what does that mean exactly? Well, let's take a look again. Okay, you can see, sorry, pen's lagging a little bit here. Okay, you can see in the first one, it says underline the pronoun in each sentence and write subject if it's a subject or object if it's an object. Well, I can see I is the pronoun in the first sentence, and since Gabriella and I are the subject of that sentence, we're the ones doing something, I put that as a subject pronoun. Okay? And then you continue on with that. The second part, it says choose the correct pronoun in parentheses to complete each sentence. Well, you would see we awarded prizes. You wouldn't say us. Okay? So you would say we. And you would write it on the line. Okay? All right. Moving on. On page 82, we have the subjective case for pronouns, and we have the objective case for pronouns. Basically, what this means is use the subjective case for pronouns that follow a linking verb, including forms of the verb be. Subject pronouns are going to be in the subjective case. The objective case for pronouns are pronouns that are direct and indirect objects and objects of a preposition. Object pronouns are in the objective case. Okay, so first things first, you recognize subjective and objective pronouns. Okay? Circle the pronoun in parentheses that correctly completes each sentence. Write the case of the pronoun on the line. So, number one, you'd see we had a 6th grade, sorry, let me get the pen going here. We had the 6th grade field day at school. So I wouldn't say us had, we had. And in this case, because it's in the subject, we would say this is a subjective case. Sorry, my stylus is not exactly agreeing with me here. Okay? The next one. The person who handed out the awards was I. You wouldn't say was me, you would say was I. And then you look at, see, this is where it starts to get a little bit tricky, okay? If it follows a linking verb, was is a form of the verb be. So because it follows a linking verb, this is known as a subjective case. So I would put subjective case, okay? Skipping down, I want to randomly give you an objective one. I don't want to give it away any kind of order like that. So let's take a look at number 10. We called the winners on stage and showed them their prizes. So hopefully you recognize the word is them. In this case, it's an objective case because it's a direct or indirect object and the object of a preposition. Showed them. So in this case, I would say objective case. But again, we'll go into this in greater detail tomorrow, okay? All right, moving right along on page 83. You've got, it says, use a subject pronoun when the pronoun is the subject of a sentence or a clause. Use an object pronoun when the pronoun is the object of the verb or the preposition. It says, use the correct form, reflexive, and then use a reflexive pronoun only when it refers to the antecedent. So, read each sentence. Rewrite the sentence using the correct subject, object, or reflexive pronoun. Okay. So in this case, it says, Kevin and Amanda helped blank sort the donated items. Well, hopefully you realize they helped us sort the donated items. So you'd write on the line and write the sentence on the line. Now, obviously, my stylus is worse than your pencil. You could probably finish that off, okay? All right. And then, moving right along, 2 more pages of this. This is an editing. This is a proofreading page. So it tells you the top. This is all review at the top. It tells you the subject and object pronouns, reflective and intensive, subjective case, objective case. Proofread the sentence, rewrite them correctly using the correct pronoun and correct capitalization and punctuation. Well, on this one, hopefully you can recognize that the pronoun is his/self, and that's not correct. So I would say, and then it says rewrite, so I would say capital C for Carlos, himself, a sandwich. Carlos made himself a sandwich. Okay? And then last but not least on the grammar, this is the last page, kind of puts it all together. Read the first sentence that's given. One of the following sentences will correctly replace the underlined subject or object with the correct pronoun. Circle the letter that replaces Robert and I, or Mary and Luke. Okay? And at the bottom, they say underline the pronoun in the sentence, and then you got to tell me, is it subject pronoun, object pronoun, or reflexive pronoun? But again, we're going to go over all of this in detail tomorrow, so you guys, if you have a question, just, you can hold it till then or ask me today. I will be available. Finally, on the spelling, again, this is very straightforward. They just want you to break it down by the prefixes, so you're just sorting the words. You see there's 20 blanks. I don't believe there's any overlap on this section. You're just going to break it down by the prefix. And last but not least, on 112, when you do this, at the bottom is completing the sentence like it always is. 113 is the same as it always is. But at the top, what they're doing is they are giving you either a Greek or Latin root, and they're telling you what it means, and they want you to try to find the word that seems to use that Greek root or Latin root. Might not use it exactly, but you could see that that's where it comes from, where it's based on. Okay? All right, like I said, we'll go over all this tomorrow, but I just wanted to give you a little extra guidance as you work through your pages today. Please let me know if you need anything. Thank you.